I'm Rachel Bradley, and this is the Armageddon update. Well, Trump is back, and even more sent by Gotti than ever.
I am the chosen one.
This guy shreds all of the Bible's greatest hits. Come on, kids, the poor, sick, disabled, women, the earth, you know, God's creation.
Drill, baby, drill.
So how in Hades did this flabby orange, diaper-swaddled butt of everyone's jokes become the tangerine Jesus?
I think he's been sent from above.
He was put in here for a reason. I pray to God every day.
He is a gift from God.
Trump was chosen by God. Do you believe that?
I truly believe that was divine intervention.
Grab him by the pussy.
Because Trump was a Democrat. The Clintons were at his wedding to the model, the one, you know, that he cheated on his wife with right after she gave birth to his kid. Wait, no, not that one. The other. Yep, that's the one. He committed adultery repeatedly, which got him the attention of the Christian right. Also, his Playboy cover and his porn cameo. You know, just like Jesus. In 2016, Jerry Falwell Jr., president of Liberty University, endorsed Trump as the white right evangelical candidate. He even invited him to speak at Liberty, bringing us this, Jim.
2 Corinthians, right? 2 Corinthians 3:17. That's the whole ball game. Is that the one? Is that the one you like? I think that's the one you like.
That would have gotten your knuckles busted in Sunday school. In 2018, Michael Cohen flipped on Trump, as did everyone else, except for Rudy, who instead chose to hang around, publicly melt, fart on a hot mic, and hold a rally at a dildo shop. Just like Jesus. Cohen says Jerry Falwell Jr. called him and asked him to act as a fixer on some in flagrante delicto photos of Falwell, his wife, and the 20-year-old pool boy. Because apparently Falwell liked to watch him put his pool noodle in Becky's floaty. Just like Jesus. As a true Republican, Falwell lied. But in 2020, Reuters blows the story wide open, wider than the pool boy blew open Becky's floaty. With receipts, Falwell was forced to resign from Liberty. See, the idea to me that this orange, bloated, fatted calf became a Christian is hilarious and heresy. Because what is. And what is he never went to church. He was best friends with the most notorious pedophile and child sex trafficker in history. He loves cruelty.
Knock the crap out of him, would you? Seriously. I will pay for the legal fees, I promise.
He shows no humility. He objectifies women, including his own kid, and takes vengeance to a new level, just like Jesus. And I've read the Old Testament. He hasn't.
I'm wondering what one or two of your most favored Bible verses are and why.
I wouldn't want to get into it because to me that's very personal.
Because he would drop 5 fishes and a loaf in his shorts. The man has not read the Bible, but he's selling them for the low, low price of $59.99. And if you order now, you'll get added to a group chat about secret war plans of your choosing. See, here's who Jesus was. Jesus said, "Blessed are the peacemakers."
I'm going to bomb the shit out of them. You're gambling with World War III.
Just like Jesus. His true social feed has more violence than John Wick. Jesus said, "Love thy neighbor."
Build that wall. Build that wall. Build that wall.
He even pissed off Canadians. And often peaceful people because they have health care and poutine. Jesus said, "Be kind to the foreigner, for you were once a foreigner in your own land."
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in.
This golden calf corrals immigrants like animals, shackles them, and then flies them to a random third world country prison where they're denied due process, beaten, shaved, and then dumped into a cell. Oh, well, that's actually just like Jesus. See, he said, "What you do unto the least of them, you do unto me." He fed the hungry. He healed the sick without asking for a PPO. This graven hemorrhoid cuts food assistance, shuts down food banks, repeals healthcare, guts Medicaid, and Social Security. If Jesus today fed the masses, he would be called a socialist looser in all caps on True Social. And he'd probably be on a flight to El Salvador because, you know, he was brown. Jesus said, For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evils.
I'm really rich.
He said to be humble, not proud.
When you said that you've never asked God for forgiveness.
I like to be good. I don't like to have to ask for forgiveness.
The book of Revelation, it's nice, light reading. 10 out of 10 for plot twist. And see, it says when the end is nigh, we will see a rise of false prophets. And yea, they will comb over their cotton candy, cat-piss-colored hair that do hide the scalp of Satan's minions. But to you who say you believe, please stop calling it Christianity. Because we all know this ugly, festering, open sore was not sent by God. Christianity was my grandma Jean, who was still delivering Meals on Wheels to people just months before her death at 89. Meals on Wheels, another food program canceled by Trump, right after he canceled kids' cancer research. You know, just like Jesus. So start calling this what it is, a satanic power play and money grab done by stepping on the necks of the vulnerable people Jesus told us to care for the most. See, look, even Trump knows it's not safe for him to touch the Bible because God would have blowtorched his tiny pink kitten mittens. And to all you Christians who claim he was sent by God, I got a strong feeling your pearly gate entrance interview is gonna be lit. Galatians 6:9, let us not lose heart in doing good, for in due time we will reap if we do not grow weary. Which means, no matter how bad it gets, just keep kicking evil's ass. Just like Jesus. I'm Rachel Bradley, and this is the Armageddon update. That's probably gonna piss a lot of you off.
Hey, now you gotta get up, go out the door, and start screaming stuff. Get out the door, start screaming stuff.
Oh!
Just go out the door.
Son of a bitch!
Yeah, no.
This is ridiculous!
Don't look at. Just go. Don't go to the camera.
I'm out of here! I
You
hate
gotta
it!
yell.
What an asshole!
Keep yelling.
Hey everybody, Christopher Titus. That was Rachel Bradley doing the Armageddon update. Very, very good as always. With me as always, the lovely Bombshell Ray.
What's up, people?
And the Highlander.
There could be only one.
This is a question, and Ray brought this up and beat on it. She was like, I want to write. Ray never calls and says, I want to do the Armageddon update. She just doesn't. And then she goes, I want to do an Armageddon update. And that makes me go, hello? What? What's going, what happened? And
the end is actually near.
Goes,
Holy shit.
And she goes,
we're in Revelation.
Yeah. She goes, yeah, exactly.
The Four Horsemen is Ray.
She's like, we're already in Revelations. I might as well do the final one. So she says, she goes, I really want to address that this guy is, there's nothing about this. These Christians keep claiming him. Sent from God. Yeah. Which, when you say it out loud, it's just funny. And Ray, I want to talk about it. So she wrote the Armageddon update. I have to be honest, you know a lot more about God than I do, or you've been raised in a church. Ray went to Christian schools. It's offensive to you, isn't it?
Because, I mean, yeah, like just call it what it is. Let's say you want him because he forwards your agenda. Yeah. But stop throwing that. I mean, he even said, do you remember that clip? Maybe you put it in the Armageddon update where he's standing out in front of the press and he goes, they even say, sent by Jesus.
Yes.
And it's like, he's even buying it. And I was reading.
That's what a minion of Satan would say.
Yeah.
That since his first presidency, a lot of evangelicals have likened him to Cyrus the Great, who was the Persian king who enabled the Jews to go back to Israel after their long exile for being assholes.
It was Twitter-ile. Now it's exile.
So if that's true, then that means he would actually be promoting the current thing that Israel ended the ceasefire and killed another 400 kids. So that'd be like, I don't understand the whole. I know people that are good Christians, that are welcome the stranger, that are Ray working for Salvation Army, us doing benefits for Salvation Army, starting our own charity. And then you go, and then you get these other Christians who claim it, scream it, and yet they're racist.
Yes,
they're racist. They think Jesus is white. They have all the matching plates on their mantle at home of the white Jesus, which doesn't exist, and they're so hateful. Like if you're a Democrat, they hate your guts. There was a preacher that preached. Is that preacher that preached it? this guy has a church, and he's like, the Democrats are sent by Satan. And I'm like,
is this Copeland?
No, it's another dude. This young dude.
Because that's another one where
Copeland is
Kenneth Copeland. Dear
Oh
God.
my God.
There was a thing on YouTube where I happened to be looking. I was doing the map one day looking for assets, and in Copeland they said, "Is Copeland?" They played Copeland from like 12 years ago, and they played him now and goes, "Is Copeland been possessed?"
I saw that. And if you've seen any horror movie, yes, it looks like
it does.
That's
it looks
exactly.
like
Pea soup is about to come flying out.
It looks like that one where he goes. She goes. So you said you don't want to be on your own. You had to have your own private jet. You want to fly in a
Okay, if you guys haven't seen this, explain what you're talking about. He's talking to Jesse Duplantis. They're trying to get people to send in money for another private jet.
I'm talking about the interviewer.
How it first started.
So he basically gets a second thing, and he goes, I need a private jet because I can't fly in an aluminum tube full of demons. A long tube full of demons.
That's Coach.
I don't like it either. That's why I sit up front with the TV. How you demons doing in the back? Guess what I got? Peanuts, bitches. You're a demon dude. But he meant it. He meant it, yes. and then so he gets kind of jammed up again, like leaving an airport, right? And the interviewer.
So that happened. He took a lot of shit for that he didn't care about, obviously. And then he's leaving out of the back of his church one day, and a reporter is waiting for him to ask him about saying that, and the clip
it gets
you're talking
so
about.
Dark so fast. He's like, "You let me tell you something. I don't tell you." And you see him catch himself, and then he goes, "Well, I had to buy that plane."
Exorcism.
Who's the guy?
Jesse Duplantis?
No. Who sold him the plane? No. Who's the director? The black director?
Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry made me such a deal on that plane, and it was like a demon catching itself. it was like a minion of Satan going. He's like, whoa! I got to get the temper under control.
So that's kind of like how it happened. So when Trump put out Art of the Deal, he commented on atheism and said that it gave him an edge in every deal.
And even atheists gave him an edge.
But then in other places, he was raised Presbyterian. But by raised Presbyterian, I mean like he was born, and I think maybe they christened him, and he was never seen going to church.
Yeah, his grandfather had a brothel in the Yukon, and his father was such a racist. They would put on applications for black people to the first apartment or the apartment building. First time Trump and his dad got indicted, they would put C on it as colored. So that's why, and none of the application with C on them got put in. So, not Presbyterian, not even adjacent. Like in the distance, like and the horizon. Yeah, those are is that Presbyterianism over there? I don't know. I can't see it from here.
Yeah, so we never saw him go to church.
No,
and this is like one of the things that really bumps me about how people are now. Is that's why I've been saying that phrase a lot. What is, right? And the evidence speaks for itself. So we have countless pictures of Biden and Obama going to church
with their
over
own Bibles,
the years,
with their own personal Bibles
and their families, and not during presidencies, and it was just a way of life,
and not during a riot in front of a church upside down. Yep.
But somehow he's the Christian scion, and I'm like, wait, he hasn't even pretended.
There's all these pictures of these Christians putting their hands on him. Like in a weird ritual.
My favorite one is
why aren't they all getting burned? Is what
my favorite one is the painting of Jesus behind him, and someone turned it into Charles Manson.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy.
My hat's off to you, sir.
That guy,
whoever did it.
That guy's the best of the best.
It's so he later said that he shifted to non-denominational. Which I think is, Bitcoin. I don't want to answer any questions.
Speaking of questions, we think we put it in the clip too. That's great when they go, give us your favorite Bible verse. And you just see him panic.
Yes.
It's very personal.
I don't really want to go into it. It's my personal thing. No, just give us one. Just one that you really like. By the way, TV, John 3:16, just fucking say something. I don't even, the Bible is so close to, can't not. He turned into like Woody Allen Trump.
Which is exactly what it tells you in the Bible to do. Keep it to yourself.
Don't
Don't
spread
share.
the word.
Don't
bring the good word.
Keep the word.
Keep the word.
I believe is what it said.
Hide the word.
Hide-
I think that's it. Hide the word.
Under a bushel. So he started, so he had a couple failed presidential runs, and then he kind of got hooked up with this guy that was a super fan that was on Christian Broadcasting Network. And this guy in some of the early interviews is a geeked out fan. He literally says, I was listening to some of it, like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm here with the man in Trump Tower. You got to see all the stuff he has in here. Like, this guy's totally geeked out. And this guy, he's on CBN. And so he's trying to get Trump to like say something about, make it relevant. And he asks him about the Bible, and Trump says, it's a very big book. It's a good book. It's good, very big book.
Thick. It's thick. It's good. Hence, they call it the good book because there's good in the book that is thick. Fuck! I wish he would stop talking.
And so that was sort of the beginning of it. This guy, like having him on CBN and trying to draw this out of him. But I think like the most notable thing, obviously, is what I talked about, and that people like the Republicans are so good. You always say this at messaging, getting together and saying one message, and
same
also
thing over and over. Everybody the same sentence
because they're all on an app now.
Also, moving right past stuff that happens that's not good. Right?
Deflect and move on.
Where the Democrats will bang their heads against the wall, blame each other. All right, get in a circle with your guns, shoot each other. That's what Democrats do.
And so all of that stuff that happened with Jerry Falwell. So Jerry Falwell Jr., his father started Liberty University, was a very devout Christian, looked up to by a lot of evangelicals, really the evangelical leader, like Billy Graham level. And so he dies, Jerry Falwell Jr. takes over as president of Liberty. Well, this was not said.
And he was a
time.
bubba. He wasn't like a reverend. Like I remember Jerry Falwell Jr. was like a bubba.
Well,
every time I saw him,
all pretended that he was. He just stepped into his father's shoes, and I remember that dynamic even where when I was growing up, and so it's funny because now it's come out after all of this that happened. So he, for some reason, gets behind Trump, endorses him in January of 2016, which wakes all the evangelicals up, and Trump ends up taking 90% of the evangelical vote.
I don't understand.
Because Jerry Falwell Jr.
Because people don't read the Bible.
And he put him up at Liberty to speak, to say 2 Corinthians. And then he went on the road with him. He would get up at rallies.
2 Corinthians, one of my favorites.
No, do you know he later blamed that on a pastor backstage that told him to say it the wrong way? You know, just like Jesus. God. So he endorses him, gets him this vote. We don't know why. We're sitting here on the podcast every week like, what is going on? Well, then 2 years later, 2018, Michael Cohen flips. He tells that actually he owed them for fixing these
sexting
pool boy photos.
Yeah.
That Michael Cohen did pay off the pool boy. It became an undisclosed amount of money that this kid who was now 28, who was supposedly blackmailing them. The kid says that Falwell liked to watch him bang his wife, whether in the room or on a camera from somewhere else. And they end up, Falwell becomes a business partner with this kid, pool boy. Like, it's a whole
I remember
thing.
this. He would fly him around. This pool boy all of a sudden was like CEO of Liberty University. Wait, didn't this guy clean pools? Yeah, but he was very good.
He cleaned my
His
pool.
commitment cleaned my wife's pool.
The front pool, the back pool, 3 pools. She's the 3-pool woman.
So that's all going on. Michael Cohen comes out and tells this. He did it because he owed us a favor. It's mob shit.
We remember this.
We told Grandma this, remember?
Yeah,
and she was like, that did not happen. That is not true. He is a Christian man. So, but then more time passes. So 2020, Reuters gets audio, video, and text messages and blows the story open.
And then he had to step down, right?
in 2020,
follow a step down.
the university sees the photos and he's
And the
forced
video.
to resign. And they recently settled because they sued him for being drunk and while supposed to be running things and for the scandal that he brought to the school. And so we tell grandma, and remember, she was very upset that it turned out to be true. Well, then in 2022, the Falwells, I guess, needed money and they did a Vanity Fair interview and kind of admit to all of it. But he says in the interview, I was never really a Christian. She was like, yeah, it was really hard keeping that facade up all the time.
Wow.
Wait,
Never heard that.
Wait.
Really?
He said I was never really a Christian.
And we're
So
like,
okay,
She said
so let's
it.
okay. So that's the horrible scandal. We all remember it. Like the thing with the Trump scandals is that, and you keep saying this, and they just move on. They just I don't understand how we can still talk about emails and a secure server that was her personal server that they investigated 35 times and nothing happened. A laptop from a kid that was addicted to cocaine and it was with hookers.
Yep.
We can talk about that for 4 fucking years to the point where the Republicans have to come out and go, we've done all we can. We can't bust him. We're going to move on. You remember and they just moved on. They couldn't even get Hunter and they couldn't get Hillary. They tried.
They built an entire campaign on those two things.
We have piece of shit move after piece of shit move with Trump. And like literally stuff that if any Democrat had done it, you know, they keep calling Democrats pedophiles. And yet every pastor, youth pastor, these are the guys that are going to jail for it with stuff on their laptop. Like, didn't a congressman just get arrested?
The TDS guy?
A Republican just got arrested for pedophilia. And yet we don't have any Democratic, we have no
And
drag
we don't
queens.
hear about it. We talked about it. But.
Yeah. And here's what bothers me. So explain to me, you had to have known people growing up in church. Because my dad, you know, we were so sporadic. I would count. I would say that Dad went to church, but he liked the music. If the choir
and Christmas,
not even. He hated Christmas, but Easter maybe.
Just
Easter,
like Jesus.
Just like Jesus. Hey, this is my birthday again. So tell me, we all had to have these people in church, and religion has basically been used as a reason to do the worst wars through history.
Oh, question. Speaking of Easter, why aren't the Christians selling sponsorships at the Easter egg?
The Easter egg roll.
It's not blasphemy.
Did you read about this?
Hey, where are you guys?
Did you hear about this?
No.
They put out a call to corporations to sponsor the Easter egg.
Like it's fucking NASCAR.
The Easter egg thing at the White House. Just like Jesus. Remember when Jesus?
Who does that money go to?
Exactly. And what do you? Hey, by the way, anybody?
Cancer, children's cancer.
We want
research?
to who wants? Listen, there's going to be 2 different prices. You got to sponsor the crucifixion, and you can sponsor the resurrection. The resurrection is going to be a little more expensive.
Is it more exclusive?
It's an upside. It's an upside. The crucifixion. Listen, I know we're going to get the horror movie.
We know when that one's happening. Yeah. I'm not quite sure when The Rock is going to move.
Corporate sponsorship. They're going to get corporate sponsorship of Easter at the White House.
You shouldn't have corporate sponsorships at the White House at all.
No.
Says the guy who's selling cars.
Says
in front of the White House.
Says the guy who's first on his inauguration put a bunch of AI and tech billionaires in front of his cabinet.
Yep.
Oh, God. This is why I think we can talk about this too, because I've been doing some research into this and it happened. So I haven't talked about this since I posted it. So I just want to go. These false Christians, explain these people to me. How can you look at this man and go, yeah, that's like, listen, I'm just know Jesus. I've read the Bible twice. I understand what Jesus stood for. I love the teachings of Jesus. I think that I think, help your fellow man, do good works. How the hell do these people look at Trump and go, that's the guy?
And you have such
Kids
strong
with cancer.
beliefs. You have a belief system based in all of this goodness.
Right.
How do you set that aside for a demon?
Well, that's my whole question, right? Because I know people that haven't. My stepfather, who's a lifelong Republican, a colonel in the army and intelligence, is actually wrote me a 4-page document when I told him I was going to do this Armageddon update with Bible verses. He is a theologian. He's read the Talmud. He is losing his mind. He says that Christians have no business supporting someone like this. And if you can't just plead ignorance, because there's too many things that are out in the open now.
Right.
My point about saying that he had failed runs, he ran for the Reform Party in 2020 because of Jesse Ventura, 2000. He could never get it to work. And this was sort of like my precious, right? This is the most powerful, the biggest money grab. And Michael Cohen even said that's what it was, publicity and money grab. And he couldn't get it. He tried all different things. He was friends with the Clintons. And then he started getting traction with this. And now you'll notice, especially this time, he says it all the time. No one's done more for Christians than I have. The whole moving of the embassy to Jerusalem, it's all, he does not care about that. He just is being told, here's what you got to do. The abortion thing, he was pro-abortion before and a frequent flyer.
But how dumb are these people that they keep, and they keep saying that, like Jesus, he's being oppressed, like Jesus, he's being talked about, like they're going after Trump like they went after Jesus, and I'm like, I kind of want to call this out because Jesus walked around making the blind see and helping the lepers, and he was flipping money, he was taking the temples apart, and he was saying he was like, we got 2 sandwiches, everybody eats. Just 5,000 people here. Yeah, I made 5,000 sandwiches. That's Jesus. This guy got taken out. He can't own a charity or run a charity because the charity for kids' cancer that he run, he was using the money from it to buy pictures of himself.
Yes.
Jesus, I've read the Bible. There's no chapter or verse where Jesus is like, and then Jesus bought a picture of Jesus.
That's one of the deadly sins too, right? It's in there.
It's all. So I just don't understand the stupidity, the blindness of it. But isn't it in Revelations that the false prophets will rise and they will back them up, something like that? Blah blah blah. Let me say, something like this in the Bible, which is a good book.
What about the assassination attempt? That was yet another sort of like, let me just interject some Christianity into this, that God saved me. And
I turned my head at the right moment.
Yeah. So now I'm here on behalf of.
It's funny because once he realized, as Ray pointed out, and it's good you pointed it out. Once he realized it worked, he jumped on fucking board, man.
Yes.
He's like, "Yep, I'm on the Jesus train now, bitches."
It's like how when he tries out like little phrases or he'll like riff something, and if it works with the crowd, he'll like, I'll use that one for later, whatever. He does the same thing with policies.
Ron Sanctimonious, which is he would grab onto that. Thought he was a genius. Ron Sanctimonious.
I just came up with that one.
Yeah, oh, no, God.
That's the other thing, is that also he's just stupid.
Yeah.
And I don't know how people get past that.
Do you know how how he could sound 10 times smarter if he just stopped talking? They'll go. They were asking about that Hegseth thing last week, where they were talking about the signal. He goes, well, it's an app. It's an app. It's a machine, a device that you use, and all these devices. We're looking into the technology of it. What did you call it? Some of these things are very good. Some of these things are very bad. Dude, just shut up. Listen, ready? We're looking into it right now. We will make sure it doesn't happen again. Stop talking.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Next question.
But he's that guy. We all know this guy who loves to keep talking. Yeah. His name is Christopher Titus.
And he's like kind of drunk on his own bullshit all the time.
His name is Christopher Titus. Would you pull up the election anomalies in Nevada? I want to talk about this. So we all saw it with our own eyes. Now, again, it's all anecdotal. We saw that when Kamala was running, she was packing, 18,000 seat arenas. Someone said, no, man, they were 2/3 full. So I went to the videos and I looked at it. They were not. There's 360-degree pans where they're fucking to the rafters. Yeah. Okay. Then they cut the Trump rallies. People are leaving halfway through and they're half full. If that. Huge sections of emptiness. So if you look at so then we started seeing these little weird things. And again, all anecdotal. I'm not going conspiracy.
I like that.
What?
Anecdotal. It's a little cartoon.
By the way,
a little cartoon story.
It's anecdotal. It's
a story, but it's in a cartoon form. Let me doodle it.
You kind of dog.
So I was going to tell you this because you never breathed after you asked me about Revelation, the book of Revelation. It says
2 Corinthians
warns. Everybody calls it Revelations. Warns about the rise of false teachers and prophets who will deceive and exploit people, performing signs and wonders to mislead even the elect, ultimately leading to a final deception.
Is his name written in there too?
Deception. That's where we're at. I think we should call this the final deception. That's where we are. That's exactly where we are.
It says that they will exploit people with deceptive words and have hearts trained in greed.
Wow.
They predicted Donald Trump in 2000.
The final deception and apostasy will be great, and the whole world will be caught up in it.
Wow, that's
urges.
The whole world is caught up
in Revelation. It emphasizes the importance of being discerning, because false teachers and prophets it's telling believers to test spirits and not believe everything that they're being told. It's interesting, but there's a lot in Revelation.
They meant alcohol, but by test spirits.
Well, the reason I named it my second special, 5th annual of the World Tour, because we've had this throughout history. It's the end of the world. It's the end of the world. I will say, in the past, all the boxes weren't checked. This time, it seems like the boxes are kind of checked.
Yeah.
And we've got this weird, even Nostradamus. Then you go, let me cross-reference with Nostradamus. Ah, shit. Let's go to the Matrix, the second Matrix. Ah, shit.
He will appear in orange. And you're like, oh my God.
It doesn't.
This episode brought to you by a new advertiser, one that we're very excited about, Vessi Footwear. Oh, somebody's very excited.
Can I please tell you something about this?
Okay.
So because of Ray, I'm a shoe, a bit of I wear specific shoes that I wear, and then we got these Vessis got sent to us.
So Vessi does waterproof, comfortable shoes, and they also do
comfortable's not enough.
They also do outerwear and stuff like that. But the main thing,
jacket's beautiful.
Yeah, but the shoes. So we all now wear Vessi shoes. And I have 2 kinds. I have the Chelsea and the high top. You have the low top and the high top.
And the high top.
You need the Chelseas, but he's got on the high tops, and he has not taken them off since he got them.
I sleep with these.
He actually,
because you can.
Yeah, they're so comfortable.
So I had on, and I went
to bed.
So depending what's happening, if I'm working here, and I'm doing something on the car, or something, I'm walking around on the concrete, the vest is on. I have never, ever, ever, ever in my life had a more comfortable pair of shoes. I put them on. It's like putting on a pair of socks, yet the bottoms are like hardcore, any kind of tennis shoe you would have.
But they're so light.
They're so
light.
And
fully waterproof.
Which
you tested. You wore yours in the snow. To the cabin, because when we get to the cabin, we have to park and then ride a snowmobile in. And then our driveway has not been touched since it started snowing however many months before. So we're sinking into snow to get to the front door. So he was like, I'm going to test these.
I took my high tops, my Chelseas, and walked up, and nothing. It was awesome.
It was kind of crazy, actually. I didn't believe it.
But listen, waterproof is waterproof. The comfort, the way these things are just, I have never in my life had a more comfortable shoe. You, right?
Yeah, even so.
The you never wore tie-up shoes anyways.
Well, when I got them, usually when you get new shoes, right? Even super expensive shoes, they're like stiff and you got to work them in. Right. I put these on and they felt like, did they just form custom,
socks,
like a form fit to my foot?
What is happening?
He said he feels like, because I wear slippers at home, he said he feels like he just found his slippers.
We don't have to say that to people.
But usually waterproof stuff is like terrible, like galoshes.
Heavy.
Yeah, but these are like shoes you wear every day. You will never know that they're waterproof.
And they are so light. They're great shoes.
The most important thing I think about these shoes is kind of how we use them for travel when we went to the cabin. And I wish we had them when we were in Scotland because it rained every damn day. But they're a great shoe for travel. They're waterproof, like we said. They're the most comfortable shoes, like you said.
Oh, they're like socks.
He thinks they're slippers. Also, you can just take one pair because they look so good. You could wear those out, right? Fly in them, walk around all day in them, wear them to dinner.
Black tie event, black shoes event. Come on.
Those actually would look pretty pimp with a tuxedo, or an uxtedo, as Chaplin calls it. Also, they're committed to eco-friendly materials, so they're sustainable. So we really love this company. So pack smarter and travel better with Vessi. Visit Vessi.com/Titus for 15% off your first pair at checkout, and you can start exploring with confidence. Say yes to spontaneous trips and rainy day adventures with Vessi. Travel smart with Vessi shoes at Vessi.com/Titus to stay comfortable and get an instant 15% off your first purchase at checkout.
Parking is terrible in LA, so wherever I park, I have to travel when I get out of the car in my Vessis to the building.
So wrapping up that Trump thing, he's using it. He's lying. He knows now that that's how
it's just
he
a new
got
con.
elected.
Yeah. God's the new con. God's just the con.
And as Michael Cohen said, it was always about the con, whatever they had to do to get whatever he wanted.
You can't say a guy that wants to date his daughter is following the teachings of Jesus. You cannot say that a man...
Let's clarify that. His chief of staff, General John Kelly, came out and said, go read about this. I think it was in the Wall Street Journal that Trump, do you remember this? Would speak so graphically about Ivanka's body.
She's a nice piece. Called her a nice piece.
In meetings his first term, that Kelly actually said something to him, asked him to stop doing that in front of people. It's disgusting.
A man who calls soldiers suckers and losers are not following the teachings of Jesus. The man who actually grabs people, sends them to a prison in a third world country, is not following the.
They're not even tracking these people. I mean, the
same way they did with the kids.
He just ended the program that Biden put in place to track the kidnapped Ukrainian children, to follow them, to have a record that they're missing, that they're in Russia, to effort to bring them home. They closed it. It's over. Which is basically saying, here, Russia, keep your children.
Keep trafficking these kids. Do whatever you want to do.
Whatever you're doing with them.
The horror of it. And then there was this, one of the guys, they said he had gang tattoos.
Yeah.
He was a gay hairdresser.
And
he just had tattoos.
There's a makeup artist.
And a makeup artist.
Missing.
And now he's in a prison in El Salvador. That after Trump was told you have to bring them back, they said we can't find them now. And then they said, well, let's see the records. They go, sorry, secrets. They're using the State Secrets Act.
Secrets Act or whatever.
So we are fucked, guys. When it comes to this.
You have to be very clear.
Constitutional crisis.
Those people are not from El Salvador and being sent back.
Right.
These are people.
Americans.
The issue is most of these people don't have criminal records. And most of these people were legally pursuing citizenship or were currently in good status. Right. And like this makeup artist that's missing, his lawyer, they can't find him. They put him on a plane, shuttle him over there to a random third world country and beat them, shave their heads and dump them. Humiliate them and then dump them into a prison cell.
No due process.
With no due process, but no records either.
No records.
Remember the child separation the first time, how they didn't know where the kids went because they didn't keep records.
No right to a lawyer. Yeah. No right to a lawyer. So everything that America stands for, he has violated the Constitution. We are now in a constitutional crisis. Full stop. Constitutional crisis, full stop. Then one of the judges said something really good. They go, do you understand that in World War II, the Nazis were treated better than this?
Yep.
And one of the Trump lawyers goes, we don't agree with the Nazi reference. Well, I know, because you guys are Nazis. I get why you don't agree with it.
At least the Nazis thought they were going somewhere nice on the way.
At least the Nazis had like good tech, and I know. And the brown shirts showed up in brown shirts. You knew they were coming. These ICE motherfuckers are showing up in plain clothes, and they're grabbing pro-Palestinian college students and just grabbing them against
Columbia professor.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of stories coming out about like the actress that was flying back to California to update her green card and got detained for 14 days and was denied a telephone call, and no one came to speak to her about why or where or when.
So just so you people know, this is
Canadian.
what happened in World War II. Basically, they just grabbed people, they kept them with no due process. They couldn't see attorneys. They held them as long as they wanted to. They tortured them. They did anything they wanted. This is what the Trump administration is doing right now, today. So just so you know, I want to talk about one more thing. I want to talk about, so if you can bring up the Nevada. Okay. So this is the weirdest thing. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, and I get that everybody, it's so funny to watch after we bitched and bitched and bitched about the Republicans claiming, stop the steal. We were like, you guys, no steal. Well, then this election happened, and we were like, wait, every swing state? This guy fucked up so bad last time, 1 million died.
Didn't make sense.
How is it possible?
They're also the party that is always projecting.
Right.
So everything they accuse other people, they do.
It was just that what we saw, her fundraising was record breaking. What you said, we're watching his rallies half empty, people funneling out.
He's fumbling through shit, not talking.
I need to remind you guys of something I forgot about until today. He turned one of his town halls, instead of answering questions, he played his
music for 45 minutes.
Ave Maria several times while he stood and did this in the middle of the stage.
And then he
YMCA for you guys. It was actually like 39 minutes.
And Kristi Noem was like, "Holy shit, what is happening?"
Remember, he got his ass handed to him in the debate. They're eating the cats and the dogs. And we were like,
the pets that live there. So we all saw, this is the weird part. It wasn't like he was shredding it, right?
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
Right. So
I just pulled it up.
Some statisticians came in, and I watched this whole video because I'm willing. I don't like when people start talking about because this destroys our entire system. If you start saying the election was rigged, I don't want you coming at me screaming and yelling.
Yes.
Give me some facts. Give me some stuff. So this guy analyzed all the voter data in all the swing states. None of the voter data in the swing states matched any other state. So in a sense of payoffs and stuff like that, because they knew that Trump was going to win these states, and they knew that Kamala was going to win these states. The Nevada results are so weird because what happened is that at 250 votes, and I watch this you got to watch this because this guy is not emotional. 250 votes, all of a sudden, it's like an algorithm changes, and all of a sudden 250, it's exactly it matches what the rest of the states match.
Yeah.
And then at 250 votes per machine, it starts to just give Trump more votes.
Huh.
And this goes on. And so then he went back and then he started checking all the swing state data. You guys got to look at this video. It's on YouTube. And the statistician guy is just, I was like, I didn't understand. It was so dense. Like he's not emotional. It's a dentist.
He's a human calculator.
Yes, it's a dentist showing me graphs.
Was it Roland Martin?
I think it was on his show. No, it's another guy. Guy.
A lot of people are covering it now. So this guy's talking about the power of the black vote.
Yeah,
how it often shifts outcomes in elections.
It's not that. So they did a graph. They do a graph on all the swing states. At one point,
Election Truth Alliance (ETA) wrapped up an independent investigation of voting data from Clark County. They found unusual patterns that they say point to potential vote manipulation.
And so basically, what it looks like is, and here's the odds. The odds for all the swing states doing this exact same thing is 1.2 trillion to 1. So if you look at all the data, and there's in the middle of that video, look at that, the ETA, look at that video, because there's another podcaster that interviews the guy. We should have him on because I want to hear about it. So they show all the other states, and like the graphs are up and down, blue and red, and then they shows one from the swing states, and it's like this. Everything above the line is red. Bam! And you're like, wait.
Yeah.
How is every county? How is every county above that red?
And didn't Trump turn to Elon and one
he
of
knows
his
the
rallies?
machines in Pennsylvania. He has those machines. He knows those voting machines better than anybody. Then Elon's kid, remember getting interviewed, and his kid goes, don't worry, they'll never know. Like there's all this. Did you see that video? Yeah. I'll put it up right here.
Now there's also
because I don't want to sound because I don't want to be the conspiracy guy. I don't want to be. Yeah. I'm saying that like I watched this video. It's 41 minutes, guys. It's a little dense. You should watch it. By the time you get to the end, you're just going to go like this.
A little dense, like me. Also, Nevada. Sorry, Nevada. It should be Nevada, though. It's investigating more than 300 potential voter fraud cases from the election. A lot of double voting.
Well, there's also, here's ready for something else. There are so many ballots that they didn't vote for anybody but Trump. So there's all these ballots where they didn't vote down because what people do is they go down and they go, if I'm a Democrat, I vote Democrat. I vote for her and I vote Democrat. I vote Republican. I vote for all the way down the ballot. They just voted for Trump. Nobody else. And the Democrats won. So the Democrats in the lower races won, but Trump won. And this happened over and over in the swing states.
Now, there are legal ways that are in the system
but
how
we
have now.
But the Democrats are pussies. Listen. I'm sorry. Sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead. There are legal ways
that the Republicans are they exploit that it is rigged. The Electoral College is it's rigged. The redlining of districts that are weirdly shaped. Then there's voter suppression that is happening. That some certain votes.
Yeah, the gerrymandering. That's number one. That's so then, okay. Now let's add all this up. On top of that, there's 4.5 million votes in the swing states that were disallowed. Now, they weren't illegal but the election was over. So you can't go back and go, well, this is so there are so many people.
He did another EO yesterday.
Yeah, there's so many people who showed up and go, wait, I voted and they said my vote was illegal and it's not. Right. Oh, right. All right. Yes. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's over. It's all done.
Yes. So it's not the one thing. It's all the things together. And then all these other states pass these voter restriction laws. And they did that for the last 4 years. When you say it was rigged, it's not like Trump had nothing. It's rigged. We have 4.5 million legal votes were disallowed. We've got this crazy weird data that would take, it's 1.2 trillion to 1 that he would win all the swing states specifically the way he won it. We've got ballots where nobody voted for anybody but Trump. They didn't go down ballot and vote for.
See, that makes no sense
at all.
If you want Trump, that means you want all the other crazy right wingers.
There's no. I mean, what's her name? Shoot, I was gonna say Elise.
Elizabeth Warren,
from the House to the Senate. She did the summation after the address that he did.
I don't know her name.
Shoot,
she was kind of new.
She was in the House. Yeah. She was, I want to say she's Michigan or one of those states. She got elected in a state that
Trump won
heavily. Yeah. And I'm confused because she's like really.
Also in Michigan, Biden won it. Was it Michigan? Michigan won it by 20 points when he won. And then this time Trump won it by 10. And when you look, it's none of the data matches. Like, and then the lower ballot races, Democrats.
Yeah.
None of the data matches. And they kept saying for him to win all right, here's one more thing. And this is in the thing. Guys, you have to watch it. It's long, but at the end you'll be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So Trump flipped 80 districts countrywide, 80, mostly in swing states. When Reagan won, now Reagan won 49 out of 50 states. Reagan only flipped 30. The odds of flipping 80 districts, again, 1.something trillion to 1.
Alyssa Slotkin, Michigan. It made me crazy. This episode brought to you by one of our favorite all-time companies, the OG Harry's.
Oh, yes.
We love Harry's. We use Harry's all the time. I have to say that I'm a little bit tired of my shower looking like a Harry's department store. I was in my shower today and it gave me angst because I wanted to know why, and this is not an exaggeration, we need 6, count them, 6 bottles of Harry's body wash.
And is it locked behind glass also in your shower?
No,
okay, good.
It should be though, because I steal it a lot. Also, 2 kinds of shampoo from Harry's. He's obsessed with the hair paste. What does Harry's make that he doesn't use that I don't use?
I use the deodorant. Obviously the razors, not all the time, but when I do use them,
the best.
They're the best.
There's no shave like this. It was kind of shocking the first time I used it because I didn't use them right away because I thought, oh, they're for guys. And then I used his one day and I have never looked back. It is insanely different when you shave with one of these razors. German factory. So what they do is the best way to start is you can get the starter kit, the Harry's kit, and it comes in this really nice box that you could also just use as a gift, stick a bow on it, and there you go, Papa. And you'll get that 5-blade razor, the weighted handle, the foaming shave gel, and the travel cover, and you get that for just $3 at harrys.com/bombshell.
Normally, their trial set is $13, but right now, you can get it for just $3 at harrys.com/bombshell. That's our exclusive link, harrys.com/bombshell, for a $3 trial set.
I'm telling you guys, do set up delivery for these blades because when you run out of these, it will create sheer and utter panic in your home and you will start hoarding them. He and I hide them from each other. So I would set up delivery you don't need to do it that often because they last
for so long and they're so sharp for so long.
How do you make money, Harry's? These blades last, I use them for like a month.
And they're so much more affordable than these other garbage brands.
It's ridiculous. And you can also do a no-risk trial because they believe in it. And so they say, no worries, send it back. It's on them. So get the shaving products that always deliver. Get Harry's. Get started with a $13 trial set for just $3 at harrys.com/bombshell. That's harrys.com/BOMBSHELL for your $3 trial set.
Look, tariffs are coming. But at least you'll have a nice clean shave that's not going to break the bank.
Tariffs have not come to Harry's. Their prices have not changed in forever. The reason why we have 1,000 body washes in our shower is because they're this big and they're $7 and they always have been. harrys.com/bombshell.
We are so anyway, this whole thing about the election thing, you got to look into it. What bothers me the most, and we got to talk about this too. I haven't talked about this in a while. Chuck Schumer needs to go. We need to nut up as Democrats. We need to nut. You know why? Because we are at a place now where I'm watching the Democrats do absolutely nothing. They're not even swinging. Like we don't give it. I don't care that you don't have power right now. Mm-hmm. Okay, the House.
Exactly.
Senate and the presidency, all of my Republicans, fine. But I've pitched this repeatedly. Go out every day. I think they should do a morning thing where they just clear the bullshit from the day before with the Republicans. Get on because the news would cover that.
Yeah.
If you go, all right, we're going to do a daily briefing.
Yeah.
The Democrats doing a daily briefing on how much bullshit is coming out of this office. And if that happened, it would force the Republicans to start to face it. And I gotta tell you, man, to you people out there, you Republicans and Republican districts that are showing up at these town halls that these pussies won't show up for, thank you for being good Americans. Please, I know we don't agree politically, but I want to say that you're standing up for veterans, that you're standing up for like your own Social Security. They're destroying I won't be touching Social Security. Your Social Security is safe. Yep. They're raping it.
Yeah.
They're raping it.
Bernie Sanders and AOC have started to do that. She'll get up on her TikTok and she'll kind of recap the day or whatever is happening on the Republican side and then go after it.
It needs to literally be a press conference. They need to set it up where the press conference. And I'm watching, God, the craziest shit I'm seeing on the Trump press conferences. So it's North Korea. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's North Korea now. And they're like, by the way, I just want to point out that you guys have done, hi, I'm with the Newsmax. Just want to point out you guys are doing an amazing job. Mm-hmm. The amazing job you're doing is so amazing. What's the next amazing thing you're going to do? That's the question. I'm like,
I like that question.
You know, and if you bust him on something, he's like, I'm not answering that. And he moves on.
You're a nasty person.
But I got to tell you, man, I am I look back at the days of John McCain. I look back at the days of Mitt Romney even, and I look back at the days of Republicans that fought, but they still followed the values of America.
George Bush
even W,
Although W really could have come out and taken a stand, and he didn't. Although I guess it wouldn't have mattered. It didn't matter that Dick Cheney did.
Well, I saw some comments, some Democrats like, Obama needs to come out and swinging. I'm like, Obama, and someone pointed out, Obama did his job over and over again. The Democrats, I would tell you this, let's go back to the election. The plans of these Democrats to actually, and Biden, I do have to blame to a degree. Biden held on too long. Gave her such a little runway to run for president while Trump ran for 4 years. He fucking ran for president for 4 years. Yeah. She had 100 days.
Well, the fact that he didn't clamp down on Merrick Garland and go after Trump and solidify that shit before.
That was his whole thing, though. My job is not to run the DOJ. Whereas Trump puts in meth Kash Patel, and he puts in these psychos. Like I watched. We're just fucked. So anyway, hey guys, if you want to come see a show.
This episode brought to you by Mando, a company that is also this podcast ad collection is brought to you by things that have changed Ken's life.
I want to thank Mando for keeping my family together.
The two of them.
He didn't kill his child due to stink because of Mando.
Kept me out of jail.
Especially now that it's spring and it's warming up.
Yeah.
And
it is springtime in Wyatt's armpits.
I actually have
it's always summer in Wyatt's armpits.
So,
what about his grundle?
I actually have to go get a new stick of it. I actually ran out. It has become my favorite deodorant.
So they have different products. They have the one that you use actually looks like a regular deodorant stick. Right. But then they've got cream tube deodorant, and they've got the wipes, and you can get the body wash. I started using Lumi, and I love it. The cream.
Same company, yeah.
Yeah, it's the women's side, the cream tube deodorant. There's a like mint something's one. I don't know. It smells so good. I'm just like...
It does, can confirm.
And so if you don't know what Mando is, this talking point says, do your balls stink?
First of all, I don't know. I don't know, no matter how hard I've worked out.
I've tried to check.
A whole... What are you doing?
Trying to fix my chair because you just keep lowering my chair, you psychos.
It's a whole body deodorant. Safe to use anywhere on your body. Pits, balls, thigh folds, belly buttons, butt cracks, and feet.
This is the weirdest commercial.
Created by a doctor who saw that BO was being misdiagnosed and not treated properly. And so she created its clinically proven to block odor all day and then control odor for up to 72 hours. Although I still think you should shower.
Probably 72 hours a bit. It's a bit
that's funky.
But let's say you're in the Amazon.
Don't go on a stink fest.
You're in the Amazon, or you're
possibly
on a plane to El Salvador.
Oh no.
So like I said, solid deodorant stick, spray deodorant. They have different scents, or you can go unscented and still shower, but use Mando, because a man's grundle odor level was a 5 out of 10 after a shower 12 hours later. But with Mando, it was 0 out of 10.
Surprised it was a 5.
So if you've got a very busy grundle,
I thought that
if your grundle is literally putting
the New York subway,
putting in the time, if you got a union grundle, you should probably use it.
Mando starter pack. That's where Ken started with why it is great. If you're new, it comes with the solid stick deodorant, the cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice. You could do body wash, deodorant, wipes. I like those too. And free shipping as a special offer. I did it again every time. Offer and listeners is right next to each other. As a special offer, listeners will get $5 off a starter pack with promo code Titus. That would be like over 40% off of your starter pack if you use code Titus at shopmando.com, shopmando.com, and then support us by telling them at the end, after you buy it, where did you hear about it? Tell them that the Titus podcast sent you. Stay fresher, stay drier, boost your confidence from head to toe.
Stay fresh, stay dry, boost your confidence from head to toe, Mando. Let's go back to the religion thing.
Well,
I did have a comment about Christian, not just Christian politicians, but I've seen a lot of comments, like heckle comments and like negative like comments on our social media. And I tend to
not a lot,
but the ones that I do, I click on like, what is this person? And then they have a bunch of posts and they claim to be a Christian. They're like, oh, I'm a Christian husband. I'm a Christian something. I'm like, you just said, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, but
on another to
we
a
gotta
person.
get these damn immigrants out of this damn country. Yeah, I know. They never.
They're doing it themselves.
It's cosplay Christians. It's really cosplay Christians.
It's populism now.
But also, so I was talking to I had a notary come over and was talking to her about what was going on. She was talking about how crazy it all is, like on the daily. And I was talking about like so Elon Musk has $200 billion. Well, he has less now because Tesla stock was like, whoa. But if I had $200 billion, I would have, there'd be a couple hospitals.
Yes.
We would have this amazing like animal
the
rescue
Titus Foundation
thing. We'd have a foundation. We would be helping pay for kids to get college. There would be like, I don't understand like everything that Jesus stood for. If you have all that money, it's that parable about the woman who came in there in church and there's a millionaire there and an old woman, and she's poor and she puts 3 pennies in the offering, and the guy puts $100,000, and Jesus blesses the woman, heals her, and everything is wrong with her, and doesn't do anything to the guy. And the guy's like, wait, I just gave 100,000. And he's like, yeah, she gave all 3 pennies. She had 3 pennies. You have billions.
Yeah.
And so fuck off, bro.
Yeah. You're good.
Just like Jesus.
Don't think he's
in his way. Let's just say
he said fuck off, not bro.
Well, that's the thing. There's so much in so many verses talking about, like that one that I showed you last night about the man standing on the street corner, the performative stuff.
Yeah.
So against that and how those people will be dealt with.
Right.
And so I don't know. I do feel like that these people that are claiming it, they don't read the Bible.
Or they know the downside.
The Constitution. Like Boebert, saying that founders originally intended for church and state to be one.
And they're like,
no.
And they literally the opposite. No.
So he just signed an executive order on the election administration.
God.
He's trying to take power from both an independent bipartisan federal agency as well as from the states, which is so interesting because he's all about sending power back to the states.
Yeah.
Abortion, we got to send.
What does he want to take away from the states on voter rights?
To the states. Well, technically, if you consider historic measures, presidents have no power over the conduct of federal elections, nor should they, for obvious reasons.
Right. Except he's writing executive orders to him. Just so you guys be clear, executive orders are not laws at all. They're not even close to laws. They're just some guy going, I fucking want this. I want a Coke button on my desk. That's exactly what they are. Now, I don't understand why we have to follow them. I think that if we get through this and we get where the Democrats get some power, I think there will be some new laws written. Be like, all right, you get 5 executive orders.
Yeah.
You don't get 500.
One of the major seats has just been flipped. So one of them was, I think it was in Pennsylvania.
If we desperately need to win the midterms, and even then, I mean, he's not listening to the courts.
He's not leaving.
So after the 2000 election, that
Chad.
Oopsie.
The hanging Chad.
The one where Al Gore was like, all right, I guess I'm going to let him win. Like,
yeah, that's how people used to be.
That was odd.
Now it's civil war every time we have an election. So Congress passed the Help America Vote Act, which established the U.S. Election Assistance Commission. That's a federal agency that approves voting technologies eligible for federal subsidies and then advises states and counties on best practices. It's an independent organization. Trump signed an executive order to reverse that. It if you read it, it seems to direct the EAC to do certain things, such as require documentary proof of citizenship on a form that the federal government provides to allow people to register to vote anywhere in the United States. And then would require documentary proof of citizenship.
You have to show a passport or something like that, right? It couldn't just be the census. It couldn't just be you clear, because right now, here's how it works. They do the census, you're cleared, they check your address, you're a citizen. They know it. So when you show up to the polling place, they go, yeah, you're Christopher Titus, you're a citizen, moving on. What these guys want to do, and they've done it throughout history, the poll taxes, they've done it through like make black people have to guess how many beans in the jar if they could vote, to prove that they could read. Like there's been all this shit that has gone through the history of voting.
Targeting
black people and brown people. It's never the Democrats trying to get the Republicans to stop voting.
Gerrymandering.
Right. And the gerrymandering, when the district looks like a duck. Yeah. There was a Donald Duck district at one point. It literally when you drew it, it was like all over the place. So, and they violated the Supreme Court in Alabama, didn't it? It was of Alabama last year or 2 years ago. They were like, you have to fix this. This has to be right. And they said they didn't do it.
Correct.
They said no.
So I just want to point out the reason I'm a Democrat right now, and the reason I am progressive, liberal, and understand what this country is about, is because when you go through history and you see who did what, all you see is the Republicans trying to fucking cheat every time, and they're doing it now. The other side is like, hey, we need to get a program. If 32 other countries can have universal health care, we could be the 33rd. Yeah, exactly. They've figured it out. Yeah. We could figure it out. Instead, you got these Republicans taking billions of dollars from corporations. And Musk just gave Trump 270. Yeah. And here's the thing. I saw something, the weirdest thing yesterday. And you guys, do me a favor. Start paying attention to what's going on. I'm watching TV. They were in the White House. It was the big cabinet meeting. And Musk is sitting at the head of the table.
Yep.
And I'm like, why the fuck?
And his kid is always
Why
there.
the fuck? Why the fuck? Wait.
Hegseth was going to brief him in the most secure room that we have in the country, in the Pentagon, about China war plans.
But why is this guy?
Yeah.
So it wasn't the 270. You got to remember, when you have billions, what does Trump love more than anything?
Money.
Okay. So let's say you're worth 200 billion. And the sidebar of this is, tell you what I'm going to do. You know that meme coin you have? I'm going to give you the 270. We're going to claim that. We're going to claim the 270 for the election. But I'm investing $2 billion in your meme coin. But I run this fucking country. Mm-hmm. It feels like a mob thing, doesn't it? Every time I see it, I'm like, look, that's all conspiracy conjecture on my part. But I watch it and I go, why is this guy sitting at the head of the table during a cabinet meeting?
And he's always in merch. His own Trump merch. Trump was right about everything.
So we've established that Trump, by any measure, is not close to Christianity at all. At all. There's nothing about the man that seems religious, follows the teaching of Jesus. He was not sent by God. And we can, unless God likes bankruptcies and you want to date your daughter, unless that, and if you want to, but God was like, hey, go hang out with that pedophile. See if you can flip him.
And bang some porn stars and Playboy models after your wife
has an infant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's also things in the Constitution that are aligned with Christianity, like the same, open borders and all those things, that he also doesn't abide by.
He doesn't do any of it. That's what I'm saying. I just request that we at least stop that charade.
But also,
call it what it is. You are afraid of losing something to immigrants. You are mad because you didn't go to school or work hard enough. You're mad.
You're not educated enough, right?
Even though you're 59 years old, like whatever. Call it what it is.
It makes you feel funny to think about the 10 trans athletes that are out of the 550,000 in the NCAA.
Just stop saying he's a Christian.
Just be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Try to follow the teachings of Jesus and be honest. He's not a Christian, and it makes you look stupid when you claim he is. Okay.
You can still be mad at your dad.
Yeah, there you go. For God's sakes.
Go to therapy.
And now we're going to go to
Minecraft News.
Minecraft News. Now, this is something that we have started doing. Ken pointed out that there's a lot of stuff that we don't know. Our news media, and I never thought this. I always thought we were pure until I filmed something in in Australia one time, and I would watch the BBC, and the BBC is so much clearer. And there was shit I watched on the BBC about the Iraq War at that time. This was a long time ago. And I was like, wait, they're not telling us this shit. So our media is really controlled. Minecraft news, however.
Yeah. They've got all of the oppressed news from the world. Let's play a little bit a game.
Okay.
Tell me if this is from an article from the United States or from one of these other oppressive countries.
Okay.
And for extra credit, who wrote it or what media outlet wrote it.
Okay.
Last week's arrests were simply about controlling the narrative. We are being asked to abandon any hope of political freedom and keep quiet about arrests and travel bans that impact not only the critics, but also their families. The crackdown has shocked even the government's most stalwart defenders. Where is that from? Here or somewhere else?
I would say North Korea.
Somewhere else.
Somewhere else.
Written by
Russia.
Jamal Khashoggi, Saudi Arabia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wait. Khashoggi just
So he
that?
It's there's articles.
Hold on, stop.
He's in there.
So you guys,
he built the library.
You guys do remember that the first time Jamal Khashoggi was basically cut up with a bone saw,
basically,
and we had the video. We
Audio.
literally had audio of it, and Trump was like, "Yeah, whatever." So because this guy was complaining, Saudi Arabia was taking people, right?
Yes,
and he wrote a thing about it, and next thing you know, MBS had him killed. Allegedly. Allegedly. I said, you guys heard me say allegedly, right? Do not cut out allegedly.
Golf course coming up.
But here's the thing: if you don't stand up to this because you're not brown and you're not in danger, you know, that actress, she's a Canadian white woman that was held for 14 days with no due process. And so I just would argue to you that all this is doing is eroding any of our right to.
I think I saw an article. Nikki Glaser said, "I'm not going to do any political because I don't get jammed up." And I thought, God damn it, we're supposed to. Robert Wright just said, "Listen, guys, this goes back to what the Nazis. Whatever that slogan was. They came after the Jews, and I said nothing. Then they came after the Gypsies, and I said nothing. Then they came after the Italians, and I said nothing. Then they came after me, and there was nobody left to say anything. Start talking shit." Call it out every time. Scream. Get in their faces.
If you
keep going to town halls.
If you are already afraid to say something, they've already won.
Yes, no shit. I've done enough. I got 10 specials working on my 11. I'm done enough. I'm good. I'm good. I would rather be a news story that changes things than just be a pussy and give up on my country. Don't give up on your country. If you guys want to, do me a favor. You want an hour and 40 minutes of comedy, go to ChristopherTitus.com. My special out there, Carrion Monsters, is there. You can get it. It's $9, but we don't ask for like a Patreon or anything. So go get the special. Watch it. We produced it. It's great. The money goes to us. It doesn't go to some big corporation. Thank you. Also, if you want to see Ray's special, it's up, right?
Also, the album just came out on iTunes.
The album's out on iTunes. Album for Alpha
go
Chick.
Add it to your Apple Music.
Also, the album for Carrion Monsters is out on iTunes too, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
so good. We finally got it all out.
busy.
And I'm on the road doing Doom to Repeat. Off this week, the week after. What's the week after? I was supposed to go to Texas.
West Nyack.
Well, no.
Oh, yeah, Nyack. Yes, Nyack. Do you want to say anything? And you get Ray's album, Alpha Chick, which is out. Get mine, Carrying Monsters. Go to thewillingbureau.com to get what you need. And go see the special. Go to ChristopherTitus.com and get Carrying Monsters, all right? Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. For myself, the lovely Bombshell Ray and the Highlander. Later!
Peace out.
Look at Billy one.